Artemis in Greek religion, the goddess of wild animals, the hunt, the moon, and vegetation, and of chastity and childbirth. But what is her story? And in what way the popular DC character, Wonder Woman, related with Artemis? Watch this video till the end to find out. Artemis is the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. She was the patron and protector of young children and women, and was believed to both bring disease upon women and children and relieve them of it. Artemis was one of the most widely venerated of the ancient Greek deities, and her temple at Ephesus was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Artemis symbols included a bow and arrow, a quiver, and hunting knives, and the deer and the cypress were sacred to her. Various conflicting accounts are given in classical Greek mythology regarding the birth of Artemis and Apollo, her twin brother. However, in terms of parentage, all accounts agree that she was the daughter of Zeus and Leto and that she was the twin sister of Apollo. In some sources, she is born at the same time as Apollo, in others, earlier or later. When Zeus impregnated Leto, Hera became angry and forbade her from giving birth on either the mainland or on an island, but the island of Delos disobeyed and allowed Leto to give birth there. Then Leto gave birth to Artemis, who became a midwife to her mother upon the birth of her brother Apollo. While sitting on the knee of her father, she asks him to grant her 10 wishes. One of those wishes was to always remain a virgin. Artemis believed she had been chosen by the fates to be a midwife, particularly as she had assisted her mother in the delivery of her twin brother Apollo. All of her companions remained virgins, and Artemis closely guarded her own chastity. Callimachus then tells how Artemis spent her girlhood seeking out the things she would need to be a huntress, and how she obtained her bow and arrows from the Isle of Lipara, where Hephaestus and the Cyclopes worked. While Oceanus's daughters were initially fearful, the young Artemis bravely approached and asked for a bow and arrows. He goes on to describe how she visited Pan, god of the forest, who gave her 7 female and 6 male hounds. She then captured 6 golden horned deer to pull her chariot. Artemis practiced archery first by shooting at trees and then at wild game. Her symbols included the golden bow and arrow, the hunting dog, the stag, and the moon. The river god Alpheus was in love with Artemis. He realized that he could do nothing to win her heart. So he decided to capture her. When Artemis and her companions at Letronoi go to Alpheus, she becomes suspicious of his motives and covers her face with mud so he does not recognize her. In another story, Alpheus tries to rape Artemis' attendant Arethusa. Artemis pities the girl and saves her, transforming her into a spring in the temple, Artemis Alphea in Letrini, where the goddess and her attendant drink. Bophagos, son of the Titan Iapetus, sees Artemis's beauty and thinks about raping her. After knowing his sinful thoughts, Artemis strikes him down at Mount Philo. In one story, Cyproites, a Cretan boy, accidentally saw Artemis while she was bathing. Artemis then turned him into a girl. Actaeon, the hunting companion of the goddess, saw Artemis naked in her sacred spring and attempted to force himself on her. Diana then turned him into a stag and he was chased by his own hounds and they later devoured him. Adonis, the mortal lover of the goddess Aphrodite, boasted that he was a better hunter than Artemis. So she sent a wild boar to kill him as punishment. In another version, Adonis was not killed by Artemis, but by Ares as punishment for being with Aphrodite. Artemis was so skilled in archery and she herself taught a man, Scamandrius, how to be a great archer, and he excelled in use of bow and arrow with her guidance. In Trojan War, Artemis may have been represented as a supporter of Troy because her brother Apollo was the patron god of the city, and she herself was widely worshipped in western Anatolia in historical times. Artemis may have been represented as a supporter of Troy because her brother Apollo was the patron god of the city, and she herself was widely worshipped in western Anatolia in historical times. At the beginning of the Greeks' journey to Troy, Artemis stilled the sea, stopping the journey until an oracle came saying they could win the goddess's heart by sacrificing Iphigenia, Agamemnon's daughter. Agamemnon once promised the goddess he would sacrifice the dearest thing to him, which was Iphigenia, but broke that promise. Other sources said he boasted about his hunting ability and provoked the goddess's anger. However, Artemis saved Iphigenia because of her bravery. In some versions of the myth, Artemis made Iphigenia her attendant or turned her into Hecate, goddess of night, witchcraft, and the underworld. Artemis, the goddess of forests and hills, was worshipped throughout ancient Greece. The ancient Spartans used to sacrifice to her as one of the patron goddesses before starting a new military campaign. Artemis was worshipped as one of the primary goddesses of childbirth and midwifery along with Eileithyia. Artemis could be a deity to be feared by pregnant women, as deaths during this time were attributed to her. Artemis's Roman equivalent is Diana. Diana was especially worshipped on the Aventine Hill in Rome, near Lake Nemi in the Alban Hills, and in Campania. Woman, a popular DC character whose real name Diana was taken from the Roman goddess Diana, and her stories were based on Greek mythology. Apart from being the goddess of the hunt, Artemis was also the goddess of the moon, and her twin brother Apollo was the god of the sun, taking the place of Helio many times. Artemis was seen both as a wrathful goddess and also a loving, protective goddess. Besides killing game, she also protected it, especially the young. This was the Homeric significance of the title Mistress of Animals. What other historical and mythological stories you want me to make a video about? Comment down your thoughts. Tap the thumbs up icon and subscribe to this channel. It helps immensely. I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching.